Spirit, right? Two different lists. The fruit are for character. The gifts are for ministry. And we got to work on the fruit and the gifts. If you work on the gifts and don't have the fruit, you're in trouble. But if you only concentrate on the fruit and say, the gifts, somebody else will do that, you're in trouble. And it's the obstacle to the missionary activity of the church. So the fire of God, that wind of the Spirit, yeah.
Would you agree, or would you explain...
Would I agree or would I explain?
Would you agree that
I want baklava.
Would you agree that the fruits of the Spirit would sustain us, and the gifts of the Spirit are for us to give?
Yeah. Yeah, basically there's two different lists of gifts.
That's the high school definition.
Yeah, the New Testament.
Earlier this year.
The New Testament list of the gifts of the Spirit are not for us; they're for others. The Old Testament list of the gifts in Isaiah are similar to the fruit; they're very character oriented, and all three lists are important. We often, in the Catholic Church, we have tended not to really pay much attention to the list of the gifts that are in the New Testament. Because we want everybody to be in their proper place. We don't want you to think that you have one of these troublesome gifts of the Spirit, because let Father do it. It's His ministry. So you take the gift that is about being having good character. That way you won't upset the church. You'll just be humble and get in your place. Yes?
Don't the gifts empower us
Yes. I think so.
to do ministry?
Yeah. And the gifts, this gets into a whole discussion of the gifts and the difference between, for instance, with the gift of tongues, proclamation, that needs interpretation for the sake of others, or praying in tongues, which Paul says is not for the listener, but for the person doing the praying. So it gets a little confusing. So the gifts, we need the gifts. Yeah.
And wouldn't you say that because modern day Christians want to bridle the gifts of the Spirit is the reason why our churches are dying?
Well, we like to keep God in a box. I love what Father Barron says at the beginning of the Catholicism series. He says, I am an avid opponent to any attempt on the part of the church to domesticate Jesus. Jesus cannot be domesticated. He cannot be put into a comfortable little place. And we do it. We do it in liturgy, and we do it in sacraments. Doesn't mean that the liturgy of the sacraments aren't good. They are good. But they're not meant to just keep everybody comfortable and in their place. They're meant to shake things up. They're meant to shake us up. They're meant to shake the church up a little bit. And they're meant to shake the world up. Jesus cannot be put into a comfort zone. Jesus, I love what Father Barron begins the whole series that way. He says, and I just was going, yeah, buddy. This is great.
Jesus is not a tame lion.
He is not a tame lion. He's going to upset you. He's going to upset your... Wasn't he a bit of a rabble-rouser? Who did he upset?
Pharisees.
Religious people. Yeah. The prostitutes and the wine bibbers, and as they used to say, the drunkards. Tax collectors. Those who had turned on their own people, who were they were the scum of Jewish society. They got along great with Jesus. But religious people didn't like it much. Because they had domesticated Yahweh. So we have to be willing to let Jesus shake us up. The fire of God shakes us up. Don't be afraid of it. And don't be surprised when it happens. When he comes along in your life and you've been doing this and this and this and this and everything's been just wonderful. And all of a sudden he goes and he shakes you up.
I know about that.
You know about that. So, kindling.